Hello and welcome back. So now that we have everything we needed here, the only thing remaining is these things do not come back once we post like that. So let's create a function to handle that, and we're going to call it get sticky. That's what we will call it because it makes it stick. Okay, so we don't really have a function to get anything for our text box, but let's see what we can do, shall we? So what I'll do in the same search class, we're going to have a function here and call it public static. Everything must be static in here. Let's just go, you can give it any name that you want. I'll just call it get sticky. Okay, so in here we need a few things. We need to know the type of input that we want to deal with. So type here should be there, right? So there's a type that we are looking for. And for now, that should be enough. Just the type, and maybe if we want an initial value, let's see if we're going to need that later. So for now, let's just deal with the type. And I'm going to add a switch statement. So this switch statement will look at what type is there. So for now, let's try with text box. So we will need the type of thing here. And then we'll also need the name of that item. Okay, like so. The name of that item and the type. So let's say the type is text box. So what do we need to do for text box? We need to grab that name from the get variable. So what we're going to say here is echo, because the this is going to add the text there. So we can either do a return or we can do an echo. Either way is fine, but let's try echo in this case. So I'm going to say echo, and I will check if is set. So if the get variable is set for the name that we are looking for, like that, if that is set, then let's echo out the name. Let's echo it out, copy that, paste it here. Otherwise, we're just going to echo out some empty text like so. Okay, so that should be easy peasy enough. So let's test this function, copy that, and let's go to products here. And because we don't have any function here that represents the text box, so we're just going to come here where there is the text box and add a value parameter here. So I'll be like value is equal to, and then we'll use the get sticky. So I'll copy this as it is, paste it there, and say get sticky. And then in here, I will tell it that this is for a text box. And the ID for this text box is, what is the name of this text box? This one is called description, like so. That should do it. Let's go back and I will refresh. And you see it shows me the data that I've added there. It's back here. Good. Now let's do the same for category, shall we? So in the same way we did for category, in the thing here is, let me copy this though. I'll copy this whole thing here, copy. And then the category here has, where is this? There we go. So this is where we are bringing back the things that we want here. So we can't really do anything here. We have to go inside the get queries there to actually do this. So let me go get categories, sorry. So let's go to the get categories here. But before that, let's put a case for it. So I'll do this, duplicate that, and this one is a select. Okay. and we will look at the name of it. So if that item is set in the select, what do we do there? We're going to echo, so we'll say if is select that item, instead of echoing the value of it, what we want to do is we want to call the selected, let me do this. Let's add a value we can pass in here. So I'll just call this one value, but this is optional because we didn't need it on the first try there. So let's put 2 quotes like that so that we make it optional. So I'll copy this. So what I want to do here is to check if this item is set, and then once it's set, if this value is equal to the value in here, then we echo selected. So first of all, I'm just going to check if is set. So let me duplicate this, change this to an if statement. So I'm just going to do this and say if is set. Actually, I don't need to do this. I can put the and here, right there, and value is equal to this one. Okay, then we'll put selected there. Okay, good. Otherwise, we put nothing. So what I will do now is go to where we are doing the get categories here, and then right here when I'm putting one of these, I want to add, because usually when we add the word selected here, it ends up being the selected option. So all we want is to be able to echo it here. So what I will do is get out of the string like that, and then put self and get sticky. Now in here the first parameter is select because that's the type, and then from the select we want to know the name. So what is the name of this thing here? Yeah, so this is the problem here. We don't actually have access to it, because if I come back here, you see that the name is over here. So in our case, I know the one I'm getting for is category. Wait a minute, let me come here for a second. So we need a way to be able to pass the name into here. So maybe let me do this. Let me write category here, because it could be any select item here. So let me just add it there as an optional value. So I'll come back to the class here and let's put one here. Name, like so. So we're going to make this optional like that. Okay, so what I will do now is get sticky, select here, so we can use that name since we have access to it now, paste, and then the, what is the other one, the value. So at this point the value is this, the ID. So let me copy that and I'm going to put it here. Okay, great. Let's see if that works at all. Now refresh. And it doesn't seem to be working. There's brand 1, brand 2. Oh, so that's the thing. These are the actual names here, brand 1 and brand 2. Oh, I'm looking at something else here. Category, clothes. Okay. So let's inspect this element and see what went wrong. So that's the select here. And let's see if any of these is written selected. And clothes isn't written selected at all. So it didn't work there. So let's come back here and try to see why it didn't work. So we know that get sticky is running here for a second. So let's go down to where let me make sure that I didn't spell anything wrong there. So we are here and the name is category and the value, if it's set, and the value get name selected. Okay, so at this point I just want to copy this. I'll just say echo name like so, and then I will put a break tag like that. Oops. Great. So I just want to see that value there. So the name and the value, so that I see which of them actually match. So let's do this. I'm going to refresh again, since we're already checking on the value here. So there we go. So we see it says clothes 2, clothes 5, clothes 9. Okay, so this is where the problem is. One of them is a value, an actual value, but for us we are comparing IDs. That's where the problem is. So let me remove this. So it has to be the same. The IDs, we either use IDs or we all use names. So let me go back to categories. I think the best is to use IDs. This is supposed to be value and not ID. So let me come back and refresh the page. Let me close this for now and let's search. Okay, so let me select a category here, again, clothes, and hit search. Okay, so that's much better. So let me see now, inspect why this didn't work. Let's go back. Okay, so value, 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 selected. Okay, great. That is awesome. So we do have a selected here when it comes to clothes, but it's just on the outside.